I would now like to call upon Dr. Anne Ewens, Associate Dean of Strategy and Development, to introduce our honorary graduate.
Vice-Chancellor, Chair of Governors, ladies and gentlemen and graduating students, our honorary graduate today is Sir Roger Bannister, CBE, and it is my very great honour to make this introduction. Sir Roger is a former athlete and by any standards a household name, known for being the first person to run the sub-4-minute mile in May 1954 at Iffley Road in Oxford. Sir Roger is a graduate and former Master of Pembroke College, University of Oxford, where he undertook his medical training, and he has had a lifelong association with the city. Sir Roger's distinguished career in sport, however, spans much more than this historic achievement. He has been a consistent supporter of sport in its many forms. He became the first chairman of the Sports Council of Great Britain from 1971 to 1974, now called Sport England, and was president of the International Council for Sport and Physical Recreation from 1976 to 1983. He was knighted for his service in 1975. During his period of leadership of the Sports Council, both central and local government funding for sports centres and other sports facilities rapidly increased. However great these sporting achievements are, Sir Roger has made an equal, if not greater, contribution to society through his 40 years as a neurologist, both in clinical practice and research, an area that is very close to the heart of the Department of Sport and Health Sciences, where research and support for patients with neurological conditions is undertaken in our clinical exercise and rehabilitation unit. His major contribution to academic medicine was in the field of autonomic failure, an area of neurology focusing on illnesses characterised by the non-occurrence of certain automatic responses of the nervous system. For example, an elevated heart rate when standing up, and most likely when making an introduction such as this. He is patron of the Multiple System Atrophy Trust, director of the National Hospital for Nervous Diseases in London, trustee delegate of St Mary's Hospital Medical School in Paddington, chairman of the editorial board of the Journal of Clinical Autonomic Research, and is the editor of Autonomic Failure, a textbook on clinical disorders of the autonomic nervous system. Without a doubt, Sir Roger has dedicated his skills and expertise to the improvement of health and well-being. I would now like to invite Sir Roger Bannister to come forward to receive his award. I would now invite Sir Roger Bannister to address us all.
Public orator, Vice-Chancellor, friends, I wanted to say what an honour it was for me to be awarded this degree from Oxford Brookes, which is recognized as one of the most prestigious and successful of our universities. And I want to congratulate everyone on the 150th anniversary to take place next year. And I want to start by congratulating all those graduates today whom we've seen. You've worked very hard to achieve your degrees, and I know how much study has gone into reaching this happy day. And I'm very glad that my honorary degree has been awarded on the day when so many of you have graduated in fields akin to medicine and the life sciences. I suppose that when you made your kind remarks, public orator, in introducing me today, I can't expect to escape from that 4-minute mile. However, I must deny the rumor that was present at the time that my wife, who is with me today, thought that I'd run 4 miles in a minute and didn't seem surprised by that. But she was kind enough to respond when I asked her to marry me, and we've had happy 59 years together. She sits there very modestly, but in all the various endeavors in which I've taken part, she has been my most stalwart friend and companion. Enough said. On some occasions, I've been asked, was I actually trying to break the 4-minute mile, as if it happened by accident. But it did actually take 8 years, very hard training, and combined at the same time with hard work as a medical student. And I know that many of you here at Oxford Brookes have combined the joy of sport with hard work and passing your graduating and qualifying. I think that there are many things which Oxford Brookes shares with the other Oxford University, and I'm so glad that we have a combined cricket team, which is very, very successful. And I know that on the lighter side, there is a joint singing group which is called appropriately Oxford Blues. Some of you may have been watching the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, successfully completed last month. And my interest was very much in the Commonwealth Games because in 1954, the only other person who had broken the 4-minute mile was John Landy, an Australian, and I had the task of beating him in the Vancouver Commonwealth Games in 1954. And he looked over his shoulder on the last bend in order, hopefully, to see that he'd left me behind. But at that moment, I chose to overtake him, as I just managed to hold that lead to the finish, and both of us then had also broken the 4-minute mile. But then, a few years later, I was conscripted into the army as a doctor, and by then I'd already got an interest in the autonomic nervous system and regulation of body temperature. And so I was sent by the army to one of the hottest places in the world, Aden, now Yemen, and did research into heat illness. And then I continued this at home, and my wife says that she will never forget the day when she answered the doorbell, and holding our baby son in her arms, she said I was the most ghastly green-grey colour that she'd ever seen from exposure and injecting pyrogens with this research. I mention this because my medical career has brought me, of course, in close touch with nursing and its associate professions, which are so important here at Oxford Brookes. And I want you to know in what high esteem I hold the nursing profession. In my lifetime, I have seen huge advances in medicine, which have saved so many lives, many more lives than have been lost in all the wars of the 20th century. And today I watch with awe and courage doctors and nurses in Médecins Sans Frontières and other such organizations as they wrestle with diseases like the Ebola virus in Africa. Have I a message for you all as graduates? I've got two messages, and the first one is a very flippant one. It is, if you decide to take the ice bucket challenge, do take care, because it's quite a shock to the autonomic nervous system. My serious message is that all your life you'll meet people who are cleverer than you, richer than you, handsomer than you, and better at sport. But nobody can outdo you in being kind and with a good character. In my life, looking back, the people I cherish are the ones who were kind and understanding and become our true friends. So in whatever you do in life, endeavor to be pioneers, to think innovatively, determined to advance the prospects for mankind, and be filled with hope, because a golden future lies in front of you. You do really have the power to change the world. You really do. Thank you very much.